have you noticed any major ways in which phishing attempts have evolved over the years? What is the earliest phishing attempt you remember seeing?
Oh, I think they have evolved. I mean, people have gotten smarter. So it used to be I could just send an email and then you'd respond to me. I could trust that person. And then we started doing things like, well, let's mark things as external. And then people would send in true text rather than in HTML. So I had to get around that. And then it's become people gotten smarter and smarter. I said the bad actors have figured it out. Like social engineering is the thing that bothers me the most because that's the biggest vulnerability point in my organization is a user. And so, yeah, I've noticed it. Used to just be I could send an email, I'd respond to that email. CEO sends me an email, I could trust it's the CEO. I don't trust it as the CEO ever anymore. So yeah, I think over time I've seen them grow in complexity, grow in sophistication, understanding what users' like interest points are. Because really all I'm trying to do as a social engineer is to get you to click on that thing, right?
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to get you to click. So yeah, I've seen some pretty creative ones.
Yeah.
You asked me what the first one is. I don't
No.
we'll go past that question.
All right, Dan, what is the most interesting phishing tactic you've seen used?
I don't know. I think interesting maybe isn't really the proper word, but like, domain squatting is kind of interesting, like how you can, we have edgenetworks.com and then someone adds 2 G's or 2 J's instead of a G, or I think I already bought that, so don't try it. And then, just that is, it even had me a couple days ago, we had a client send something in, they're like, oh, we're sending these emails to this other client to try to change the routing information, that's business email compromise with their supplier. And I'm like, man, this looks really legit. But when I find, like, the indicator too they sent me was like this small, like, picture of their email. They never sent me the raw file, but that's just another point. But so finally we looked at it further and I'm like, oh, that's not even the domain, because I had thought internally that domain was then compromised. So it wasn't too big of a deal. It's just someone set up that, bought a domain, using G Suite or whatever they're using, and spamming us like that. But it looks really legit. So that's not interesting, but it's just, it's out there and it happens a lot. So domain typo squatting, like watching for that and having a service or even monitoring that. You don't want to start buying them all. I was kind of kidding about buying them all because you have all these things from Namecheap coming in for $10 to $12 or what have you every year. So you could end up spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you will, on trying to buy up all those domains. But just monitor about which domains are being registered and things like that, like with TLS, certificate transparency. You can pull that, look for that, because a lot of them are going to pay for SSL cert. That's a couple $100, but Let's Encrypt is free.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, what is the most interesting phishing tactic you've seen used? I'm going to say, or what is the most interesting tactic you feel you've used in phishing your own users?
I will, to piggyback on him, our company's name is Realwear. And so, yeah, I don't own REA1, but somebody does, and they've totally used it. And so, yeah, because a 1 looks just like an L. Dang it. Anyway, let's see. I think, from the ones that I've gotten the most reaction, because we do actively phish everybody in our company once a month, anything that has to do with payroll and HR seem to go really well. I was telling him earlier that the one that I like to use a lot is I send an email to my HR person, and then I copy the people I want to catch on the phish so that they think they got that email by mistake, which is always the best, because then they'll open it up, right? And then like put something like, here's everybody's payroll, or here's everybody's salary info. Those are really good ones. Those catch a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
I get those. Yeah, the ones that people click on, those are the ones they click on the